Good morning, everybody. What's going on? This is Antoine Matthews. So that today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to exploit a vulnerable machine and then enable WinRM remotely so that you can access the session and then actually move around the target computer, okay? So look, this is our target IP address. So first thing we want to do is go ahead and copy this, open up a terminal. And once we have the terminal set up, we start all steps the same, right? So what we want to do is some recon. So let's go ahead and open up Nmap. Let's go and put in our IP address right here, so we can see what kind of ports are open. Boom. It's taking a minute. It's warming up, y'all. We're gonna get there. Man, it's really taking a long time. I don't know why it's taking so long. Should I put it on like T5 or something? On T5 or something. I'm about to get into my mode. This thing takes too long. We're gonna have a real conversation, people. We're gonna have a real conversation. Yeah, I know I like to talk. So let's see how far along it is. All right, finally. All right, cool. So look, these are all the ports we got, right? So let's go and start with the first port, port 80. The same thing, SV for version or banner grabbing, whatever. This is gonna grab you, tell you what it is, 80. So this is, once again, this is banner grabbing or versioning. We wanna know the version of whatever service is running on port 80. We know it's a browser, so look, bad blue. So now what we're gonna do is just open up another tab, open up Metasploit. Q is just, it's quiet so that the banner doesn't open up. You know, every time you open up Metasploit, they got some kind of cool graphic or something at the top. We don't need the graphic, we're trying to get to work. So then let's go and search bad blue, big bad blue. All right, look, so these are the exploits that we have. So we're gonna use one, or you can type in, like they have right here, you can type in, use the whole exploit. We ain't about to do that, that's too much work. If you need to, you can put show options just to let us know what we need to fill in. The only thing that we have missing here is our host. That's the remote host or the target computer. So let's go and put set our host. So now we put in that information and put run our exploit. I like to type run just because it's shorter. I got to think for this efficiency, man. All right, cool. So look, now we on a computer, right? So let's get a little bit more information. Let's see what we'll be doing. So get you it. Let me pull this up actually. Cool. So this is the machine and it looks like we're the administrator. Dope, swaggy, right? So let's get some system info just because we want it. So I do this every time just so I can know who I am and what kind of architecture we working with. Look, 64 bits, it's the computer, it's a server. All right, we good. So now what we got to do, since this is a Windows computer, we have to enable WinRM by using PowerShell, right? So when you got a Meterpreter shell, you could type help. It'll show you all this stuff you can do, right? You got all this different stuff you can do. But, and this is this if you got questions on what you can do when you actually get a Meterpreter shell. And it definitely does depend on your level of privilege. So what we want to do is type load PowerShell. Boom. So now we got that extension loaded up, right? So now that we got our PowerShell loaded, what we're going to do is try to see if we can get this thing to execute some commands. So just to start off, so we can see if it's working or not, type IP config. It worked. So this letting us know this was our target our victim computer, right? Remember, that's what we was looking at the beginning. Let me show you. So this is our target computer IP address. So this is not our IP address. This is the target computer IP address. And then look, this is when we typed in IP config. What's that? The target IP address. So that means that we're on the target computer. All right, cool. So now let's go and execute some more commands. So PowerShell execute. And then now that we're here, we got the that set up. We got the PowerShell loaded up. My bad, I'm running through my procedures. We're trying to get this thing stuck to long-term memory. So once you do that, boom. Okay, cool. So what we want to do is we want to enable WinRM. So we got to figure out how to do that, right? This is not a thing that I just automatically know. Like it's a PowerShell command. So let's type in, hey, look, it was already there. Enable WinRM PowerShell. So cool. So we can go here. Remember, look, you can use this. It's all this stuff is research. This is how you figure out how to do stuff. So boom, this is what we're looking for right here. My bad. Yeah, for some of y'all probably jumped. That means y'all scary. So look, this is the command that we need in PowerShell in order to start the remote session for WinRM. So let's go ahead and copy this. Remember, we're doing execute. So this is the same thing as PowerShell. So let's go and type this in right here. I'll paste it. Boom. So let's see what happened. All right, cool. So look, command execution completed. WinRM was updated to receive requests. Boom, boom, boom. Change successfully. WinRM service has started. So if it started, remember at the beginning we did our Nmap scan. We didn't have no port that was associated with WinRM. So now let's go ahead and try this Nmap scan again. And I'm gonna show y'all something different. I'm gonna show y'all something cool. So let's go ahead and do this, right? So WinRM. Remember, it said that the service started. But look, we got the same report, right? Look, these are all the same ports. It don't look like none started up. So what you can do is go here. I like to do top ports, 10,000. Now we should see a new port pop up. Or it could happen if you just waited a little bit. So look, that's it right there. That's our WinRM port. That means that we enabled it and it's actually up and running. So we know that we're good to go. So now that we got all this set up, now what we need to do is create a user. This is dope part, right? So now you onto the computer. Now you can create a user because you already know that you're the administrator. Remember, I showed y'all that at the beginning when I put in this. Watch. Get you an administrator. So that means that you could create some people if you need to, which we need to. We need to create some people in here so that we can log on to the service. So we're gonna go ahead and erase this part right here because we already enabled the service. So look, net for network, right? So network user, and then we got to create this person. So we're gonna put administrator, and then that's the username, and then we got to put in the password. So I'm gonna put in just password 1, 2, 3, right? And then we're gonna close this off. Password. All right, look, that don't work. So look, let's try this again. Let's type in cyber chat 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Because y'all know y'all want to subscribe to cyber chat. So look, boom. So look, now we created the user. So it said code execution completed. The command was completed successfully. So look, we just created a network user named administrator, and the password is cyberchat _1233321. Y'all following along? This is the user that we're going to use to remote into our other computer or into the WinRM session, okay? So now what we need to do is open up another terminal. Or if you had a split screen, that'd be easier. You could just split this all up. But we'll type in PowerShell. So look, now we're here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable, right? A variable is like a symbol for something. So look, I'll show you. It's easier if I just show you than tell you. So $, we're going to type in cred equals. So in PowerShell, it's a thing called get credentials. And we don't want to type in the damn password and username all the time. So we're going to just type in this $cred. This is what it's saying. Instead of me, I'm going to type in $cred instead of having to enter my credentials. So wherever it says get credentials, you're just going to type in this. So watch. Push enter, right? So now it's asking for that username. What's the username? Administrator, right? So look, I'll type in administrator. Administrator. Boom. And the password. Well, what's the password? cyberchat_123-321. So look, cyber chat 123-321. Boom. All right, look. So now we all good. So now we got this all set up. Now, what we want to do is actually connect to that PowerShell session, or to the, we want to connect to it now. So we got everything set up. So we're going to put in enter P for PowerShell, PS session. We're going to type in computer name, and this is the victim IP. So let's go ahead and it's almost like setting up SSH or remote into SSH session, right? So I'm going to type in this one right here. Cool, right? So enter PowerShell session on this computer, then authentication. We want to negotiate. And then look, this is the other part, right? So then remember I told you about the credentials. Credential. And then we're just gonna type in boom cred. Now this should work unless we did something messed up. So let me just double check. Boom, enter PS session, computer name. We got our target IP, authentication, negotiate, credential. If anything mess up, it's probably this, but I think this is going to be correct. So let's go ahead and push enter. Boom. You see, I kept it real with y'all. And look, now we on here. This is the remote session. So let's go and see. Actually, that's it. We got you set up. You enabled the WinRM system. You can go ahead and navigate throughout the remote session now if you want to. So let's go ahead and just type in boom. We'll type in C. How about that? Direct through. Boom. See, look, and we all good. We all good. So we went through everything. So let me just do a quick overview, right? So we started with a regular Nmap scan. And as you can see, there's no port on here that says anything associated with WinRM. And if you're curious what port WinRM would be, it's this one. Remember, we found it at the bottom. 5985, that's for WinRM. That's not on any of these scans up here. So what we did was we did more enumeration. We found out port 80 was open. So that means there was a browser or a server open up. Then what we said was, hey, well, let me figure out with this command right here, more details. Let me enumerate more. So we got the versioning of whatever service was running on port 80. And then that reported back with bad blue. Then we went into our console. We searched for bad blue to see if Metasploit had any exploits on it. We found 2, right? We found 2. We used this one right here, the pass through. Then I showed you, let's go and show options so we can know what fields that we need to populate. The only thing that was missing right here was our host. And I'll let you know what you need to populate. I'll say yes or no. Once we did that, We ran the command and we were able to get our Meterpreter shell. And it tells you right here, session open, session 1. Then just to get more information, always enumerating. We want to make sure we got as much information as possible about whatever machine that we're trying to attack. So we typed in get user ID or get UID. That let us know the name of the host right here and who we are. So we were the administrator. Then we typed in system info so we can have more information about the actual host. We found out that this is the name, this is the OS it's running, this is the architecture, blase, blase. So now we good, right? After this step, I showed y'all that once you're inside the Meterpreter, you can push help and it'll give you more options. But the point here was to access the WinRM or enable it. So what we had to do, let me scroll down a little bit, was load PowerShell. Once we had PowerShell loaded, then that gave us the ability to actually enable the WinRM service, right? So first we typed in execute just so we can make sure that we were on our target host and then make sure that we were actually able to execute a command, which we were. We typed in ipconfig. As you can see, the IP came up verified as the target IP address, which means that we're actually on that host. Then what we did was we enabled and we force enabled the WinRM service to open up, and to let you know it was execution completed successfully, right? So now that service was started. You went back into our first terminal, ran mmap again. And remember, I showed you if it didn't pop up the first time, just you could type in top ports 10,000, and it showed you, look right here, 5985. It just popped up. Now that's the service. The service is legit. Now we on here. Now that we know that the service is up and running, we need to go ahead and create a user. And that's what we tried to do here, but we needed to match the password policy requirements. So we changed it and we put in PX or PowerShell execute. Then once again, network user, administrator. And then I just typed in, so this is the username, password, point blank simple. Now that we got this all set up, we opened up another tab. From this, what we did was we created a variable. The variable was the get credential. So essentially, remember, it's the password thing. So you type this in, and now you can just type in $cred instead of typing in the username and password every time you need to. So once we put this command in, it prompted us to enter the username and the password. We did that. Then once we had that set up, all we had to do was enter the PowerShell session, similar to SSH. So enter PS PowerShell session, computer name, and that's our target IP address. Authentication type, we wanted to negotiate. And then credential, remember, look, get credential. So that's credential. Credential, all we have to do is put the $cred, that's our variable. So we typed in cred and that entered the username and password for us. Once we push enter, we authenticate it and we are in. Now we can browse around the machine. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you feel me? But hey, look, man, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I walked through it really slow, then I went back over it to make sure that you understood it again. That's gonna be my new style. And if y'all don't like it, I don't care, really. It's for me to make sure that I understand this stuff and to make sure that you get it, because I need to break it down as simple as possible, because a lot of this computer stuff, it ain't as easy as it looks. So we got to make sure that we understand the concepts rather than just get into the end goal, right? Because you can get to the end and not remember what you did at the beginning or the steps you took to get there. So that's the whole purpose of us going over this multiple times and taking our time with each step that we're taking, okay? So yeah, man, hey, like if y'all got questions about anything, holla at your boy. You know, you can find me on LinkedIn at Antoine Matthews or AR Matthews. And then at the same time, you know, if you like this, man, share it, smash a like button, tell a friend to tell a friend, share it, because that's how we get better as a community and as a people, my weeples. So look, man, I'm out. Holla at your boy. Talk soon.